This is a podcast of 98FM's Dublin Talks. Remember, catch the show live Monday to Friday at 10 a.m.
98FM's Dublin Talks with Adrian Kennedy.
98FM.
A few weeks back on this show, we got into a bit of trouble for cutting a caller off for making some fairly disgusting comments about Muslim people living in Ireland. The amount of people who contacted us saying that they agreed with his views was terrifying, to be quite honest with you. There is a problem in Ireland right now with attitudes toward the Muslim community here in Ireland. And we want to find out, what is the problem? What is the issue here? Why is there so much negativity towards the fastest growing religion in Ireland? That's a fact. Over the weekend, former Irish President Mary McAleese called for Irish Muslims to be treated with respect. She said that with Islam being the fastest growing religion in Ireland, it is time to stop stereotyping Muslims living here. She said, the future we want together is a respectful, tolerant, open culture. However, it doesn't seem to be the case. There are around 70,000 practicing Muslims living here in Ireland. It's the third largest religion in the state. But why is there so much negativity when it comes to the Muslim community here in Ireland? Why do so many people have a poor opinion? And honestly, I couldn't even read out some of the messages that we got a couple of weeks back when we had that incident where the caller was cut off the programme. And I'd like to find out, what is the issue? That's it. Simple question. 6797 981 is our telephone number. You can text or WhatsApp us on 0877 98 98 98. Khalid, you're on 98FM. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you?
Good, thank you. Khalid, our former president felt the need to speak out about this over the weekend, obviously because there is an issue. Do you find, as a Muslim living here in Ireland, any sort of discrimination or marginalisation?
First of all, I haven't read the statement yet, but it might be in the context, in general, like overall in West or many countries like Italy or I think Austria, there are places recently there have been right-wingers. They have come into government, and obviously it started all the way from US as well. And then recently in our neighborhood in Brexit and those kind of things. But as far as Ireland is concerned, I personally am living here for the last 18 years. I'm an IT consultant. And apart from the odd incident where you find somebody maybe drunk or maybe some areas of Dublin which can be considered no-goes even for the locals living here. Other than that, I haven't seen any, like, honestly, when I came here, it was the IT boom. And I had the option to go to US or UK and Ireland. I chose Ireland because people are so friendly here, and they have Ireland has a history of immigration themselves, so they understand those concerns. And then in general, there hasn't been any issues that I have come across. Honestly, any serious issues.
Okay, so you haven't discovered any serious issues, yet I know from doing this programme that there clearly are a lot of issues that people have towards the Muslim community. That's what I wanted to say, actually, since being in IT and I follow social media closely, and lately I have seen few of the things. For example, I'll give you an example. You did a program last week about here in Dublin 15, there was a woman being pushed from an Irish woman, an old lady.
Outside
the mosque in Blanchardstown,
right.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was there on that day as well in the mosque. I did my prayer, the Eid prayer end of Ramadan. And I didn't see that happening myself. But some of my friends who actually saw that, first of all, there's a lot of animosity in the area, basically. Some of the people who were not even from that area, they started kind of campaign against that community center, right? And overnight there were pamphlets being distributed in the local area and things like that. And then what happened was on that day, on Eid day, nobody saw that happening. Only few people who saw. There's a lady coming with a bicycle and suddenly started giving out to people. Now, that's the other side of the story. I have read all the comments on the Facebook, and honestly, some of them are disgusting and the kind of thing that you are referring to already. these are the kind of things that are slowly coming into the society, which is dangerous, I would say. Like, don't let these kind of elements grow up or give them too much promotion, I'd say, because, nobody saw that thing happening, but whoever saw that lady, they apologized, and some of my friends, they actually offered her help. If you need any help, but she refused, and suspiciously, there was two people with her. She accepted help from them, and then she just went away. I'm not saying that it was planted or it was something wrong, but nobody saw that happening. But whoever heard that was shocking. It was shocking that how could somebody do that, push an old lady from a bicycle or something like that. But if there is anybody from our committee who did it, I would be the first person to condemn them and report to the Gardaí.
Okay, so we're talking. Okay, but I don't have that woman on the line to.
I know. No, I'm saying these are the kind of things now I'm slowly feeling that are coming into the society, and kind of comments you see, the post that you put on your Facebook page, and you can read my comment on that as well. Mm-hmm. Like, you see, why do we promote, like even on your Facebook page, you put women in burqa, right? That's not the only image of Islam, right?
Okay, so you believe that
you could also say there are more than 25% of people, the doctors working in Ireland are Muslims. Or there are loads of professionals, but for getting attention, like even media, don't take me wrong, but that's the kind of things that you guys also promote. Just to stir up the things, and then so many negative comments start coming in. I mean, why don't media play its role positively?
Ahmed, you're on 98 FM. How are you?
How you doing? How's things?
Good, thank you. You're a Muslim yourself.
Yeah.
But you don't agree with some of what Khalid was saying.
No, don't know why. Look at the thing is that in every nation you have bad people and good people, and you can't accuse some people for some kind of thing. You know what I mean? And the second thing is that what she said, like that respect people, blah blah blah. I say okay, that's fine, but why does the other people doesn't respect Irish people? You know what I mean? You're gonna get answer on that. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm a bit confused as to what you're trying to say here.
Okay, listen, I'm here 20 years. I never have a hostel. Okay, sometimes you get blah blah blah. I say okay, I don't mind, but I'm here over 20 years. I never have a hostel. You know what I mean? And they want some respect. Okay, I don't want to talk about religion, blah, 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 but I want to say, if you respect everybody else is going to respect you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? In every nation, you have bad people and good people. And you can't accuse one people against few, things that happen. You know what I mean?
Okay, but let me ask you, as a Muslim living here in Ireland for 10 years...
Yeah. Over 20.
Oh, over 20 years, okay.
Yeah.
Do you believe that there is an issue with Irish people...
No. Don't know why. How I don't have an issue. You know what I mean? Many people know me, and how I don't have an issue. No, everybody know who I am, what am I. No. Just they asking about, you Muslim. I say, okay, that's fine, I don't care. And just, it's only messing around. There's nothing... bad, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't know. I don't agree anyway.
Okay, so you don't think that there is an issue against the Muslim community here in Ireland?
Listen to me. If you don't look for house, you won't get house.
Yeah.
How's the other people
enough.
Like? There is people who drive the old cars. Some people drive the new cars. How do you get that new cars? You know what I mean? Why are you coming on the road and putting yourself on the faces of people? You know what I mean? Like. There's no sense, you know what I mean? Like, there are some things which doesn't work, and then if somebody says to you something, you don't agree. So that doesn't work, you know what I mean?
All right, Ahmed, Chloe, you're on 98 FM. Hiya, Chloe.
Hi, Adrian.
Now, Chloe, what did you want to say on this?
I just don't agree with the former president's statement that we should respect Muslims. I think it should be a personal respect. I don't think we should be bringing religion into it because they do have a bad rap. But the thing is...
some do. Some extremists do.
No, the whole religion do, as does our own. Christianity has a bad rap as well through history. But I think that if they want to come here, they need to learn to be multicultural just as we have to. That incident that happened, that lady on the bicycle, those men were celebrating Eid, I think, or whatever it was, Iftar. They were breaking their fast. They didn't like seeing a woman cycling. If they don't agree with that sort of thing, and they can't be respectful towards us as well, it has to be a two-way carriageway. they have to accept that we cycle, we drink, we dress provocatively. If we wish to do that, we can. Everyone's saying that they think we're all infidels. Infidels are somebody in their own countries who don't support Muslims, who don't follow Islam. They pay taxes, religious taxes in those countries. In Dubai, if you work there, you pay a religious tax because you're not a Muslim. But they need to learn to coordinate with us on what they want instead of us taking out this issue where you have to respect Muslims. I have to respect nobody. They have to earn my respect.
Khalid, what would you say to that? That, Muslims in Ireland have to earn this lady's
Not
respect.
just Muslims.
Yes, no, I know that,
everybody.
yeah.
I think it has nothing to do with Muslim. It's a general, very good statement that if you go on a place, you respect the local customs. You don't offend anybody with your behavior or whatever you believe or follow. So, unfortunately, what has happened is many people migrated. They are from different cultural backgrounds, and many things are perceived as as a religious thing, whereas some people are bringing their cultural whatever values or whatever they believe, right? And that part, I think, maybe a little bit people, if they are interested to find out, if they are really, I'm not talking about people who would trigger happy and would just start giving out about religion the moment they hear any religion's name. So read what the religion says and try to differentiate. For example, the picture that you have put on your Facebook page, again, I find it provocative from my point of view, being Muslim, the way, and that it will trigger controversy, and you will get loads of comments. And
okay, this is
wait, listen to me, please.
Yes, no, I want to describe to our listeners who haven't seen it yet. The photograph that we have up with a post
on the Facebook page, yes,
on our Facebook is a woman in a full face veil.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is in many scholars in Islam, they believe that that's more of a cultural thing. Like, I'm from Pakistan, and in many parts of Pakistan they wear burqa. Now, most of the Muslim population living in Ireland, they don't follow that, right? Why don't you promote the majority of the Muslims? Why are you just like that's what I'm coming back to that point that I was initially trying to make. Don't promote negativity.
Okay, and
right?
you believe. Okay, sorry, Khalid. You believe that to post a picture like that is promoting a negative?
Yeah, that's the way. And then read the comments under your Facebook page or whatever, whoever the listeners, and they just go through the comments, the things that I have triggered, right? How would you feel? And on the other hand, if you had put a picture of a Muslim woman doctor working in Ireland, there are loads of Muslim women working doctors here in Ireland in all the hospitals. Kind of, the things that you promote in society. As
okay,
media,
so
you guys have a responsibility.
Okay, so you believe that to post a picture like that, and this is why we're having this conversation,
right,
is promoting a negative stereotype of oppressed women or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, stay there for a second. Sorry, just back to Chloe's point. That people need to earn her respect.
I agree. People anywhere. That's a general statement that's true anywhere, right? If you want respect, even at my home level, my kids tell, I tell them, and they tell me every day, not in these words, but if I treat them with respect, they treat me with respect, and vice versa. So that's true anywhere in the world.
Okay, let me bring in some more calls on this. 6797 981 is our telephone number. You can text or WhatsApp us 0877 98 98 98. Jason, you're on 98FM. How are you, Jason?
All right, Adrian.
Now, Jason, what did you want to say on this?
Well, yeah, I think people are very influenced by the media when it comes to, Muslims and Islam and stuff like that, because, we're even starting to see support for Tommy Robinson and his over here, and people like Tommy Robinson, is transfixed on religion only. Look, there's extremists everywhere. We've had our share of extremists, religious extremists, and what I think it was Chloe was saying about they see us as infidels. They're the extremists that see us as infidels. Islam is a peaceful religion. Do you know what I mean? And it's not all Muslims. If I put up if there was a headline tomorrow in the paper that said a white Catholic man assaulted a foreigner, and underneath it said, him and his like shouldn't be allowed in this country. What would you think of that?
Yes, no, I do take the point, and in fact, and Khalid, I would have to concede on this one, that lady last week who was assaulted as she cycled her bike past the...
I don't believe that, by the way.
You don't believe that story?
I listened to that, and I heard her on before, and she was on before about... now, look, I could be wrong. So
no, I don't believe she was on before, but go on anyway.
Well, I thought she was. I thought I recognised her voice from having been on before, talking about foreigners coming into the country, and we should look after her.
No, she definitely wasn't on before.
Well, then I apologise if I'm wrong. I just got that impression, as I was listening to it that day. I thought, I know her voice, But anyway, if I'm wrong, I apologise.
And in fact, you are wrong, because I'm just being told that we actually contacted her to come on the air to tell her story because we saw it on social media. So that's how that. But anyhow, you believe that the media, if they're reporting stories, will stick in the word Muslim into a story where it's not even required?
Of course, even years ago. Do you remember, during the Troubles and stuff, it was during the conflict in the North, it was, Catholic man, Protestant man. There was no need for it. It was always the same. It's sectarian. It was always, using religion as when they're reporting stuff, unnecessarily.
In the North, it was slightly different, was it not?
Well, no, reporting. Well, and reporting, I remember as a kid was, a Catholic man was shot. A Protestant man was shot, and that's what I remember as a kid. Maybe that was BBC media, but it was still reported in the media. It was only later on they became, secularized, if you like. This should be a secular, non-secular society, and it should be, religion should be left alone. People want to practice their own religion, leave them to it. Do you know what I mean? There's extremists everywhere. There's extremist Protestants, there's extremist Catholics, there's extremist everything. Do you know what I mean? And the rest of them shouldn't be judged on that. And what Mary McAleese was saying is society in general needs to respect Muslims and stop jumping on this bandwagon of hate. The likes of the Tommy Robinsons. I was shocked to see there up in Belfast. I was up there last week, and you see the Union Jacks all one side, and then the anti-fascists on one side. And then I saw a tricolour in amongst the Union Jacks. I was baffled. I was like, oh my God. That's a weird one. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so... If there is a negative stereotype of the Muslim community here in Ireland, you believe that the media is largely responsible for that?
Of course, yeah, and it's the world media as well, not just in Ireland. It's the world media.
Is it intentional or is it unintentional?
I don't know. I used to think it was intentional, and you might say that's a conspiracy theory. Look, the imperialistic powers of Britain and America and France and all are ravaging Syria at the moment for its oil. You know what I mean? You can say they're going after Assad, I'll say they're going after oil. But, and to justify actions like that, and Iraq, which they proved now there was no weapons of mass destruction, and yet they went in and it was to secure the oil in Kuwait. Saddam wasn't playing ball. So, the media, need to be able to, help their buddies, their elitist buddies, and people won't be in such an uproar about it if there's anti-Muslim sentiment out there.
Okay, stay there for 1 second, because I want to bring in some more calls. John, you're on 98FM. How are you, John?
Not too bad. Listen, you're talking about Miss McAleese now, talking about the Muslims.
Yes.
Now, first thing I'd like to say is she needs to stop talking bullshit, to be honest, because nobody is listening to her, and she's only out there trying to make a name for herself again. The second thing I'd like to say about the Muslims is, what about that young girl in Manchester, the Manchester bombing or the Muslim attack, who has lost her life, and then parents today have still lost their daughter, an 8-year-old child dead who just went to a concert because of a Muslim terror attack. What about them? That's why people have no respect for the religion.
Hang on. Yes, there have been a series and countless terrorist atrocities committed by people who claim to be Muslim, okay? But that doesn't represent the entire Muslim community. They do not claim to be Muslim,
are Muslim. That's the point. McAleese is out there going, respect this, respect that. She hasn't suffered a loss like that. An 8-year-old child dead. She hasn't suffered that loss. But then people in Manchester and Europe have suffered losses. So, that McAleese should shut her gob and leave well alone. Nobody wants to hear her. Nobody wants to hear this PC, liberal nonsense from her gob, because there's too many people after losing family members due to Muslim attacks, terror attacks in Europe and England. And I'm sorry, I go back to that 8-year-old child because it was
hang
shocking.
on for 1 second.
It was shocking.
Of course it was. Of course it was. But
and I can still remember. And there was only last year they actually held a vigil for that same attack. So I mean, Macaulay should have respect for that 8-year-old child.
Okay, but hang on for 1 second, John. Yes, I accept that Muslims have been behind so many terrorist atrocities, but that doesn't mean that all Muslims are terrorists.
The point is, Adrian, none of them came out and condemned it.
Yes, they did.
You know,
no, that's absolutely,
a handful came out and goes, "Oh yeah, we're sorry." But the Muslim thing,
John, a massive hashtag was tweeted around the world at that time after the Manchester hashtag not in my name. And that's
hashtag. That done a lot for that 8-year-old child that's lying dead today, didn't it? A hashtag. Did they actually come out and condemn it properly?
Yes.
No.
Yes,
no,
John, they did.
Didn't.
Sorry, Kelly, would you like to get back in on this? He is basically suggesting that because of a number of countless
That's why people don't respect them. That's why they don't respect the religion, because there's too many terrorist attacks.
John, can I just point out to you as well? Sorry, Dr. Umar Al-Qadri, who is a very well-respected Muslim here in Ireland, was on this radio show condemning that attack in Manchester, condemning it outright. So
I'm talking about the whole Muslim faith.
Well, you want every single one of them. Sorry, Khalid, what did you want to say?
Yeah, well, first of all, need to understand the guys who have carried out these attacks and all their profiles that have been published, they were known criminals, right? So before that needs to be, propagated that these were criminals and they were using Islam's names. Like no human being, I'm not talking about religion, in their sound mind would commit such an atrocity. All the Muslims that I know, their sympathies are with the families and they hate those terrorists, whoever committed those attacks, as much as any human being should, right? That's my take on it.
Now, John, I don't know what more you want.
Do you know what I want? I want basically the Muslim people to actually apologise to that family for the loss of their 8-year-old child.
Hang on for 1 second, John. Why should an ordinary everyday...
Because it was done in their name, Adrian. That attack was carried out in their religion.
Sorry, Kelly, that wasn't done in your name, was it?
Yeah, no, like, whenever somebody repeats that kind of rhetoric, what my comment on that is, has every Catholic in the world apologized what the Nazis did in the Catholic religion's name?
I'm sure they haven't.
What do you guys want?
Hang on. But then again, not every Catholic's responsible for the past Catholic churches.
So just go back to your words. Just remember these words and say the same words for Muslims. Just repeat these words in your mind and say the same words for the Muslims. Why should
I will tell you this.
Apologize?
No, I'm sorry.
You don't want to apologize for all the
No. What
atrocities. Why should we?
No, what sickens me about that is that was the 8-year-old child who went to a concert, and she's dead today in Manchester. Now, I'm sorry, there's a big difference there. At the end of the day,
there is a big difference. Definitely, there were millions of Jews that were murdered in the name of Catholic religion by Nazis. So why don't you do?
You see, the bottom line is, John, yes, a lot of atrocities...
No, the bottom line is, Adrian, there's still too many Muslim attacks going on, and that's the problem. Now, you can blame the Catholics, but the Catholics aren't out there bombing people. The Jewish people aren't out there bombing people. The Muslim people are. And they're driving trucks into open, crowded spaces. Now, I'm sorry, that's just barbaric, the way they're carrying on. And you expect the Irish people... No, Mary McAleese expects the Irish people to have respect for somebody who will get into a van and drive her into a crowded area with a lot of people and mow them down there and then. You expect people to have
John, again,
respect for that religion.
I understand how...
I don't think you do, Adrian, because you wouldn't be raising this if you said...
Sorry, I understand how atrocious many of these attacks have been, okay?
Atrocious does not cover it.
However, I don't believe that an entire religion should be branded because of it.
Then that religion should stand up and then take these people out of existence that they can't do it again. that when you go to Europe or anywhere, like when anybody's in the crowded area, that these people are not out there mowing people down in the name of their religion, the Muslim religion. Now, I mean, these people must know who these terrorists are. Why don't they hand them up?
Okay, stay there for a second. Let me just bring in one or two very quick calls. Bobby, you're on 98FM. Hi, Bobby.
How are you, Adrian? Are you well?
Good, thanks, Bobby. What did you want to say on this?
I personally think John there screwed himself over by saying that every Catholic shouldn't apologise, but yet every Muslim should.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a contradiction, John.
There.
No, I'm sorry. Every Catholic's not responsible for the Catholic faith.
Neither is every Muslim. But what I do want to
say, bring on. Okay, at the end of the day, hang on. We should all forget that an 8-year-old child went to a concert and was killed by a Muslim attack. We should all forget that, shouldn't we? In Manchester.
And let me talk.
Yeah, okay, then talk then if you're going to talk.
Okay, right. The Nazis, in the Catholic name, killed thousands of children. Thousands of people, but that's not the point. That's not the point I want to make.
So what's your point
I do want to make is that I will not respect the Muslim community in this country until they start playing by our rules and stop demanding us to play by theirs and calling the racist card when we don't. They will not respect us. When we go to their countries, we're forced to cover up and all that. When they come here, they want everything carte blanche. Which I
agree with that. I agree with you there on that one. I agree.
That's why I think the Irish people will not accept the Muslims until that is sorted out. Until they give us the same respect that we have given them without getting anything in return.
I agree with that point.
Okay, the point that John was making is, that Muslims have been behind many of the terrorist atrocities in Europe and around the world over the last 10, 15, 20 years. But you obviously believe, Bobby, that people should not be tarnishing the entire religion because of a few fanatics.
Yeah.
And do you think that's what people do? Well, certainly what John is doing.
Yes, well, a lot of people do. But I also think, Adrian, that the fact that the Muslims make us, if we go to their country, conform to their religious rights and their religious beliefs, and then when they come here, they expect us to jump, hop and skip for them. If you get what I mean.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's what we think pisses off more Irish people and more Catholics, more Protestants, more Jews, or more whatever religion you want to call it, than anything else.
Okay, so you treat Muslims as individuals rather than as a member of a particular religion. Is that how you look at things?
I treat a person the same way they treat me. If somebody shows me respect, I show them respect. I don't care what religion they are, where they come from, what colour they are.
All right. Thank you very much indeed, Bobby, for your call. And Khalid and John, thank you all of you for your calls. I have to leave it at that. You're listening to 98FM's Dublin Talks.